Good morning. Cheers. And yes, it is some new music. What did you all think? Nice and uplifting. Get the heart pumping. The track is called Getting Ready. I thought it was appropriate. Ah, boy, do I need coffee. I got in here this morning quite early, like at 5:30. I've been sitting here testing boards. I don't have voice on. Hey, crazy boy. Sorry. I've disabled the voice for the time being. It was getting a bit much recently. I'm sorry. Everything else should be working with the logo, and super chats and super stickers and stuff should be working. But, yeah. Ooh, cable tie, like the music. Yay. So I've been sitting here testing Tiny Pico Nanos. So these are my latest revision that are using the CH 9102F. I had to do some design changes to get that on because the CP 2904 is still, I can get them, they're just too expensive. They're 3 times the price.
Super chat!
Ooh, thanks, crazy boy. And yes, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. That was yesterday, I think. I don't know. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day, so yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you all, and thanks very much for the super chat. So yeah, I've been it's the last board tested. I got to put them in bags. I've been building lots of their singles and their 2-packs, and I finally got Tiny Pico Nanos back in stock. So that's a relief, because that was quite an ordeal to get those going. Hey Peter, long time. Peter S. I hope you're well. So how's everyone been? Has everyone had a good week? Bought the wife a wee prezzy, brownie points, you know. A wee prezzy. See, in Australia, a wee prezzy would... No, anyway. Not even go there. Okay, what'd you get her for Valentine's? What happened with DHL? Well, my package from JLC PCB arrived on Sunday to the delivery centre, and it's still sitting there. And I just found out this morning it's scheduled for delivery on Friday. So normally it gets to the delivery centre, and the next day I get my package. So I thought I would have stuff on Monday or Tuesday to do on stream. So in the box is my, hopefully my final revision of my Bling board, my prototype. Hopefully the final revision of my Laura board. I've done a redesign on that prototype. And my next revision of my Otis controller board. And there was something else in there, I can't remember what it was. So basically 3 projects that I could have built on stream sitting at DHL. You can't go pick it up. Unfortunately, they won't let you go pick it up. And they won't tell me why it's just sitting there. It's only a small box. It's one of those little JLC boxes. I've had DHL come here once on Monday, once on Tuesday. Excuse me. To deliver on Monday and to pick up on Tuesday, but they did not send that package. So I'm a little frustrated because firstly I want to build the Bling board and make sure it works. I've still not populated any of those 1010 RGB LEDs, and there's no point populating it on my current board because I can't power them up because of that design change I needed to make. And Quindor, just to let you know, I ended up going for, so that FET that we were looking at, the one that you pointed me to, that was still too big to fit in the space. I ended up finding a smaller one that was 2 by 2 millimeters. It didn't do as much, like I only did like 20 amps instead of 60, like whatever. But ended up, using a smaller one. And yeah, got it all in there, it fits, but of course I can't test it until I get my boards. So that's, And so I've made I've made no progress on Otis, I should say. about heat calculation in the end. Right, but at the end of the day, I don't think the 2mm, 2x2mm package is going to be much worse on heat than the 3x3mm package, honestly. Like, I couldn't see the 1x1mm making that much of a difference. If there's a heat issue, I'm going to have it on both chips, I reckon. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry about that. So I did make some progress on Otis, but I only fixed that mechanical stuff that I mentioned last week. So Otis has now got an updated arm here and here, with the cable support at the bottom, and everything is together, but has led me to some more issues that I need to solve with this main structure here. At the moment anyway, mainly because the LED light ring that I'm using has a constant current adapter, and that unfortunately is quite big, and I got my lengths wrong and it's jammed in the side here, and so it gets in the way. I need to rearrange the inside of this section here to give it more space, but I'm probably going to end up rewiring it, but I can't tell until I get my new board. My new board has a FET to do PWM for the LEDs, and I can't test it till I got my board. So I'm hoping that I can just get rid of the constant current adapter. Well, sure, but I meant you calculate heat and then see if it'll do or not. We'll see. I don't know how. I'd be surprised if they pull more than an amp, the LEDs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Power consumption of the entire line when it's going full. Have no idea, Ian. I've got no way of measuring it because it's all on. Most of it's on individual circuits. So, like, all the large equipment's plugged into, like the pick and place and the pick and place stencil printer and oven are all on their own individual 15 amp circuits. So it would have to be measured at the main or at the second sub panel, and I don't know how I'd do that. I'd have to get some special gear or something to do that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite low, or maybe 1.5. I don't know. Well, I can't until I get the boards. I don't know. That's why I'm frustrated. I want to build one and try it. So how are we working the C6 board? I have two of them here. I've not really been playing with it. I'm not working on one because the silicon's not available. Not even the samples. I'm in the queue to get samples. There are no samples, and you can't take one off here because they glue them down. I can't delit it and take the chip out of that. They glue them on there. These are engineering samples. Yeah, I'm more interested in the C5, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Especially if we're really good about talking about stuff way ahead of delivering it. So I do plan on making a tiny C6 board and a tiny C5, and I'd like to make a tiny H2. Hey, Alan. But yeah, at the moment, unfortunately, can't get silicon. Okay, I'm going to go back through the list and say hi to folks. So, Antonio, hello. Life in Cycling, good morning. And John Oxler, Superhouse TV, why are you up so early, by the way? Right, Quindo, right, but the C5 is 2.4 and 5, so it's dual band. So, and I don't know what version of Wi-Fi 6 the C6 actually is. It's not 6E, and there's so many. I think there's 4 or 5 versions of Wi-Fi 6 now. I don't know. So I'm not sure how if that's something that they can change in firmware or not. Doing laundry, jeez. On a Wednesday morning at 6:30 in the morning. Crazy Roops, hello. Joe Valesco, good morning. Michael, good morning. Corey, David Essa, Mad Techie, Rota, hey ho. Quindor, hello. Henrik, hi. Dutch Taurus, hello. Peter, did you fix your LED board? Did you blow all your LEDs? Peter Homan posted in my Discord in the electronics channel. He wired his LEDs with 5 volts instead of 3.3. I don't know if they blew them or not, but whoops. Sven, hello. Beata, good morning. Johnny, hello. Peter S already said hi, but hello again. And Crazy Boy, hello. And thank you again for the Valentine's super chat. Cable Tie, good morning. Wolfgang, hello. And Ian, hello again. Did you write what you got your wife? No. What did you get your wife? What little wee present did you get your wife? To get TNT bad for that, not scheduled for delivery because of the service. Yeah, it's been a long time since DHL have done this to me. I often get stuff stuck in like Singapore or Hong Kong and it sits there for a week before it gets another plane. But this is not a plane issue. This is it's just sitting at the delivery center and it's a tiny box. It's just not being scheduled and it's just really frustrating. You know, and I know my DHL guy. Like we chat every time he comes here 5-6 times a week. Like some days he comes here twice. And you know, like I said to him, can you just go and get it? And he goes, I can't just go and get it. It's got to be allotted to me. I can't just go and take it. Really frustrating. Hunter, good morning. Alan, hello. I got a missed call from you, I think, yesterday. I haven't called you back, Alan. Sorry, I will today. I was knee deep in pain with the pick and place yesterday. Adam Bryant, hello. Corey, hi. Bit loony. Hello, Loony. How are you? Templatronics, hi. Monster Mark, hello. Okay, cool. Mischievous One. I don't have voice on at the moment, folks. I've turned voice off. Yeah. Nothing halts catches on fire. I almost set the pick and place on fire yesterday, intentionally. It was rough. Spouse on business trip today, so I finally have time to join. Oh, don't blame Tony that you don't join my streams. We all know that you're just, you know, a snob. No, I'm kidding. I'm just going to quickly, I have to. I got to put these in bags. They're frustrating me just sitting there. So apparently my pick and place machine, the software can't tell the difference between a white fiducial and a black fiducial. Specifically, when you tell it that when you're looking for a fiducial, you specify, I want it to be a white point fiducial or a black point fiducial, right? And even still, the software finds a hole in the board, like a mouse bite, and marks that as the fiducial, and then places all the parts in the wrong place. Like, seriously, how stupid do you have to be when you specify only search for white dots? Anyway, got to meet. Hello, Mr. England. My new reflow, it is dope, although something weird happened yesterday, and I have not been able to determine what happened. I can show you the video. Let me show you a video. Let me see if I can... Okay. Yeah, I'll show you a video. This is what I sent to Neoden yesterday. No, it doesn't. Well, I can make it go fast. The issue with going fast, I mean, I can make it hotter and make it faster. But you need to give it time to soak. It actually runs, conveyor wise, it runs a bit slower than I was expecting. Faster than my other one, right? the problem with my Iron 6 was that I could only have one board in it at a time, and which means if there was another board ready, it just had to wait. I couldn't let it go in because the thermal mass wasn't, like, it couldn't heat enough to reflow two boards at the same time. With this oven I can, and I also am able to run it a bit cooler than the Iron 6, which is great, and I'd rather do that and slow it down. So, but it's still pretty cool. But this happened yesterday. So as I said, I was building Tiny Pico nano panels, and apart from the pick and place stuff, which, yeah, I'm gonna find the right, where is it? Nope. Oh, it's forgotten my monitor again. Why does OBS keep... It keeps, wow. Just hold on one moment, sorry. Every time I boot it, I forgot to check this first. Every time I boot it, it loses, okay, 3, the screen capture. And then I have to reset it up again like this, which is really frustrating. Sorry, folks. Just bear with me a minute. It's a bug in the latest OBS. I think it's just on the Mac, this bug, I don't know. I've not seen anyone else report it. Let me see if I can fit, no. Almost there. Does it have a sensor to work out what goes in, comes out again? Not really. So, yeah. Hang on, make piece of shuriken and let them shoot out. Yeah, no thanks. I have opened it up actually. I've opened it up a few times. Common cold. Does anyone? Oh really? You got a cold? Bummer. Hey Chris. Another business as usual. No, just anyway. So this happened. I'll play with audio. Okay.
So can you explain to me how a board coming through the conveyor there that should come through here, that the last 10 have come through here, no problem. Explain to me how it ends up in there. I'd love to know, because that's just crazy.
Like, what the... So, a board went in, and I couldn't find the board. And I'm looking everywhere for it. I don't think it was the oven. It could have been something to do with the oven to the restacker. I don't know, maybe the board was on a slight angle, maybe it got caught or something, and it couldn't get into the restack. I don't know. Look how much space is inside there. Like, I could put a pillow and a blanket. I could live in there. I could sleep in there. It's huge. It's all empty, right? Put some foam in there for gentle land. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the panels that went afterwards went in the restacker. So something that occurred to me, what it might have been, I thought afterwards, no. So I had to, so the pick and, okay, so there's so many things with the pick and play. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I have to stick capped on tape on the bottom of the panel in the corner for the pick and place machine to recognize that there's a panel there when it comes in. Long story. Anyway, maybe, I'm thinking that maybe the capped on tape maybe got unstuck a bit and got stuck on the conveyor, on the chain, maybe, but I don't understand why no other one did, but that one did. They were all pretty much taped the same way. I don't know, whatever it was, I don't understand how it made it to the bottom of the oven. And I couldn't, I'm on the floor, I'm looking underneath the oven, I open up the restacker, looking inside. I couldn't find the panel. I thought I was going nuts. I thought, I'm sure there was a panel in there. I'm counting the panels. I know how many were pasted. I'm looking at what's in the machine. I came back upstairs and looked at my desk, and I'm thinking, I'm missing a panel. Anyway, I opened the side of the oven. It was inside. So that was pretty funny. Other than that, the oven's working great, I gotta say. Yeah. Yeah. No, there was no paste or flux that touches the chain. It holds it on the side, and it holds it where the edge rails are. So unlike my mesh one, that sometimes the paste through the USB peg holes, right, in the slots, sometimes that would, get stuck to the mesh of the IN6. But in this case, there's nothing touching the panel at all on the bottom. As in nothing that's anywhere near components or solder or anything. Yeah, I could use it. I probably didn't want to use it for storage of parts and stuff. It'd get pretty hot in there. But yeah, I'll have to open it up and check it every once in a while, because I reckon creatures are going to live in there because of the warmth. Yeah. So it's only a 240 volt oven, which means it takes a while to warm up. It takes almost an hour to get to temperature. My IN6 used to take about half an hour, which makes sense. It's twice as many elements that it's got to do. Airing cupboard. I could dry filament in there, maybe. Dry filament and LEDs and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I put linen in there. Anyway, it was pretty funny. Yeah, the pick and place, not so much. I am currently looking at replacing the pick and place machine. Yeah. No news on that yet. So, yeah. Stay tuned. Sometime within the next 10 years. No, I don't know. Anyway, so, yes, that was the... did I finish saying hi to everyone? Sorry, I got really distracted. Very distracted. I said hi to Tabletronics, I think. I think I did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, please no sharing the cold. I don't want you to share. I had one a couple of weeks ago. It was like 3 days, but I'm fine now. So, it's going to be hot today, tomorrow, and Friday. 30, 32, 34, 34 or something. I really don't want to pick and place. So, we'll see. It rode the conveyor to the upside down. Dave Jones might buy the one you have from you. Dave Jones won't buy. No, he's just not looking at a pick and place, I don't think, like I need in. He wanted something smaller, a desktop machine. And I don't know if he's actually going to buy one now. He spoke about it for a while, but I don't think he... Yeah, I think people underestimate how much time it like, a pick and place will save you time once it's set up and running. Like, it saves you the manual labor of assembling. But I think people underestimate how long it takes to actually set up a job and then tune it to actually make it reliable enough that you don't have to sit there hand fixing things afterwards. So, yeah, like not even I, was aware of how much work, and even ongoing work, especially on Chinese machines, because they untune themselves. They decalibrate themselves. They're just not reliable. They're not repeatable precision-wise. There's you get drift, and you get all sorts of stuff with them. You're constantly tweaking and fixing and manipulating the machines to get them to keep doing the same thing. He did joke about getting the same charm high that you... Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Hey Graham, how you doing? Ah, Dutch tourist got Pac-Man going. Whoop, whoop. I mean, it's on my list of things to do. I want to make a longer GIF, like a one of Anyway, like something that loops. Like maybe the ghosts are chasing Pac-Man through and out, and then the reverse where the Pac-Man's chasing the ghosts back the other way. I think that would be really cool. Anyway, I just haven't had time. So I haven't really had time to work on Otis other than just reassembling the 3D prints I did for that. And I spent most of my time this last week really just getting the line working and tuned, and the oven, I had to do all that myself. I did it all myself because it was only me here. So that was an interesting challenge, getting the oven up off the wheels because it's so long. Like running back and forwards with my car jack and timber, and like doing this with the machine to get it up and get it level and get the wheels down, and it was just it was really a two-person job. So I needed to get a second C on, or I need to get much longer arms so that I can reach from one end of the oven to the other end. So and it's still not quite perfect. It needs to drop down maybe a millimeter, but that's really hard to do with one person. So especially when you got to adjust separate legs on them. In a Burke bar. I don't know what a Burke bar is, but do they serve drinks? What is a Burke bar? Burke. I'm looking it up now. Burke bar. Oh, is that called a Burke bar? Okay, well there you go. Hello? Where's my desktop gone again? So, just a leverage bar. Right, well I ended up using timber to do it. So I had to use a jack initially to get the legs down far enough to bypass the wheels. I couldn't get under to turn the the feet to screw them down while I was also leveraging the thing up with my other hand. So but then once that was done, I ended up just using some timber with two pieces of timber, just to lever it up while I was adjusting it. So that was fine, but I had to do one end at a time. That's all. It's just frustrating doing one end at a time. Nothing beats percussive maintenance. Hello, Christian. Nothing beats what wedges to set. Right, so you can set different. Okay, yep, that's cool. Well, the problem is it's the how do I then do the leg adjustment while still holding the other thing. Anyway, hey Ray, how you doing? Yeah, it was a two-person job. The smaller equipment I can kind of do myself. What I need to do now though is I need to move everything down. I wonder if this will work. I wonder if this will turn on. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, look at that. That almost, does that all fit? Almost see it all. So I now need to move, it might go black in a minute and then pop back up. Woo, there we go. It'll come back in a second. It's just resyncing itself. Come on, come on. Okay, there we go. So I need to move everything down. That's going to be a challenge. Lift with a bar, tap wedge, set it down, twist foot until it takes up the tension, lift slightly and remove wedge. Done. Okay, I'll have a look at them. Thank you. It's done now. Now I need to shuffle things sideways. What? Matt Denton is taking Mantis out on a trip. I have no idea what we're talking about. By down you mean which way? Away from the door? Yeah, towards the wall, towards the stencil printer. So I want to take away pair of pallet jacks. Anyway, we'll set it with one pallet jack. I need a lifter, not just a pallet jack, but that's a different conversation. So no, I want to move everything to the left. So I want to get rid of the very first conveyor and have the destacker go directly into the stencil printer. And I want to move the destacker slightly to the left. So the destacker needs to move 100 millimeters, and then the stencil printer has to move 700 millimeters. Then next conveyor needs to move 700, pick and place. Yeah, I'm not even talking about the pick and place. And then I want to put that first conveyor where the third one is, because that's an 800. I want to switch that to a 600, and it's also got a terrible. The belt system's bad, and things get wedged in it. Right, I understand, but that's still. Well, I can't fit two pallet jacks under the stencil printer, for instance, or the pick and place machine. Yeah, I mean, it's again, moving stuff over wouldn't be a problem for two people. It's just very hard with one person, right? Like it's very hard for me to twist. I know you can't see me. I've got my hands up in the air. Hang on, I got an idea. 1 second. This thing's scrolling the wrong way again. And I'll just there we go. Now you can see me, hopefully, at the same time. In a minute. There we go. So doxed? How's doxed? Anyway. With one person, it's really hard to get a pallet jack under, and I want to just twist it 1 degree, rotate it 1 degree, and hold it there, and then release the pallet jack. It's just really hard. Two people, much easier. Right, but I still need to get something up to get the skates under. Right, and then I still need to then get it up to get the skates out. And the issue here is not how I do it. The issue is one person versus two people. Right, it's a really difficult thing to do one person. Right, moving things and then checking that it's aligned and stuff, and twisting things and whatever with one person is just a nightmare. But I did it on this line. I got all that. Peter Homan helped me with that. The destacker when he was here a while ago. But I got the stencil printer in and everything else aligned myself. But it took me almost a whole day of just tweaking. And if things are out a millimeter between the conveyor and the machines, then the boards get jammed. So anyway, I want to get rid of that third conveyor and put a 600, because that third conveyor uses that tape-based belt, and because of it's tape-based belt, there's a little gap where it sits under the metal, and anything thinner than 1 millimeter gets caught in it. So my Tiny Pico Nano boards, as they're going through, sometimes the corner will get stuck and it'll get jammed in the conveyor and it won't go through. I just want to get rid of it. So I'm not looking forward to that, but maybe I'll time that move with replacing the pick and place machine, because what I'm looking at replacing it with is wider, as in it this way. longer. It's longer. It's also wider, but longer. So what I move and gain back in space, I'm probably going to have to end up leaving the oven where it is to get a longer pick and place machine in. Possibly, Chris, but it's still a pain. I don't want to get used to it. That's the point. Right? And we're talking about having to align the whole line. Right? If I move that first bit of equipment and the rotation is out slightly, everything else I move along, I either need to change that or I need, you know what I mean? Like it's just a back and forwards process. It takes a long time. What? Exposed in random Facebook videos. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Well, I don't want a forklift, but I want a walkie stacker, but I don't have room to store a walkie stacker inside here anyway. They take up too much space when I'm not using it. So, yeah, and they're expensive. So, but, yeah, I'll work it all out eventually. Oh God, where's this? I really hate this interface, the new OBS. Really despise it. That's what laser levels are for. No, not really. How's a laser level going to I've got a laser level. I've got a really good laser level, and it's useless for doing that because the equipment, none of the equipment is the same height or the same width, and none of the equipment is at the face at the same position or at the rear at the same position. So there's no place you can stick the laser to align it. I've tried aligning it straight down the middle through the conveyor, all the conveyors, but you can't. That's not good enough to align it. Yeah. Yeah, it takes hard work. It takes manpower to align this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I need to finally get those markers off the ground because they're kind of not important anymore. When I heard skates for a moment, I imagined the floor being an ice rink. Ooh, no, I'd slip over and break my neck. It'd be great if all the equipment could live on wheels, right? But they can't. So make a true line on the floor and use offsets. Yeah. Yeah. So that's great if there's no equipment there to start with, but there is equipment there, and so I can't really do a true line because I can't do a line across. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I know what it's going to take to move the line, and I'm right now not in a hurry to do it because it's a huge amount of work, and it's going to be just considerably easier with two people. So, hey Andy Mouse, Squeak. So I was doing a lot more RF work as well on this last week. And I'm pretty convinced that moving to the little nano antenna that I was looking at doing, the little red one, is it going to focus? Probably not. Can't even see it. Anyway, the little red antennas with the matching frequency network and stuff is not the way to go. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go that direction. So I've been, again, looking at alternate antennas. Always sucker bribe some help. Well, I don't know if I have to sucker and bribe. I just got to wait till it's a convenient time for someone to help. That's all. Yeah, it's more about working into other people's time frames. Who's dropping bombs? What? Am I missing conversations? Dropping bombshells? Sorry, I'm just reading backwards. No, I'm reading not back. I'm reading back up the list. Backwards? Yeah. So, I'm a little disappointed in... I've wasted a bit of time on these little antennas and boards, costs of boards and stuff, and yeah, they're really, really hard to match. So there is an improvement with them, but the BOM cost is significant, right? And the amount of space it takes. The problem is, because there's components on there for tuning the frequency, the second I start tuning the impedance, the frequency components are affecting the impedance components, and I can't separate one from the other, and it's really painful. I need to raise my new old oven by 75 millimeters, so I'm thinking of putting it on casters 5 plus height adjustable feet, so I can raise it to position or lower it onto the wheel. Absolutely, John, and that's what all this equipment has. Well, except for the stencil printer, it doesn't have wheels, which is really annoying. But the pick and place machine and the oven have wheels that if you lift the feet up enough, then you end up on wheels and you can move it around, and then you need to lift it and get the legs down. The other problem with all this equipment, and it's actually a real problem, more so I would say on the Chinese equipment than on better quality equipment, is there's nothing square on it. So like if you go to Neoden, it'll pop back in a second. If you go to Neoden and say, where on this machine am I supposed to put my very expensive level to check the level of the machine, they will tell you nowhere, because there's nothing in the machine that they can guarantee is straight. You can't stick it on the top because we can't stick it on the inside. You can't even use the linear rail because there's no guarantee that it's actually 100% level in the machine. What's up with the new chat colors? I don't know. It's YouTube doing that, not me. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. I don't know. You set it across the rail. No, no. So I've already proven to Neoden that the rails in my pick and place machine are not level. And the problem is they have an inner frame that they say you're supposed to measure against, but having a look at the machine, the inner frame is height adjustable on 4 corners. So where's the guarantee that it is level? You know what I mean? So it's really hard to get the machines level when there is no guaranteed, this is the place you measure it from. All right? I'm pretty sure that really good name brand equipment would have a very specific place that you align from that is guaranteed to be level. Start dropping plum bombs. I don't know what plum bombs are, but anyway, it's been a challenge. I know for a fact that my pick and place machine isn't quite level at the moment, and I've tried again and again and again to level it, and I'm pretty sure that what I'm leveling it against just isn't level, or it's just already bent the frame out of shape anyway and it can't be leveled anymore. I don't know. A heavy pointed weight at the end of a string. Okay, but there's no room inside the machine to do that. So, yeah. Like there's this much height from the conveyor to the catch underneath, and there's, this much height from the conveyor to the gantry. There's no place to hang anything. Anyway, I'm not looking for solutions. I'm just saying there is nothing straight in the machine at all. It's just frustrating. It makes it really hard. Yeah. What else? I don't know. I feel like I'm lost. I am lost because I had a plan for the stream today. So KiCad 7's out for those of you that are using KiCad. It's pretty cool. I moved to the nightlies once the release candidate came out. I've been using it for a while. If you slightly bend your measurement equipment before you measure the machine with them. Sure. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Explorer, there's no VNA updates because they haven't updated the firmware. They haven't fixed the firmware yet. There's still no update. Well, as of last week, they still haven't fixed the port extension bug, which makes, zeroing your port extensions, getting the accurate length, impossible. Right? So, yeah. Yeah, we should move on from that one. There's still no solution there. What are the V7 highlights? To be honest with you, I don't know a lot about. I stopped looking at what they were adding a while ago because it was really tempting to jump into the nightlies, and they weren't compatible with 6, and I didn't want to get stuck in a version that had bugs that I couldn't then panelize or do whatever else, and so I made myself stay in the 6 set and never even installed a 7 nightly, because if you accidentally open a project in it, too late, you can't go backwards. So I mean, it's got some cool things like teardrops for the pads, which is nice, and you can do things like do not mark things in the schematic now as do not populate, so it won't put them on the PCB, which is really handy because it happens to me all the time. I'll put things in the schematic and I'll get either whatever. I get errors saying that the two are out of sync because there's no footprint for that thing or whatever, or it would keep placing things in that I didn't want it to place in, and I have to delete them and then whatever. So some nice stuff like that. The sheet management in the schematic is much nicer now, but there's also does some weird things. I find that some of the moving, like I used to be able to, when I was dragging a trace around, and I dragged, like if I had two separate things, I could drag this trace to that one if it was the same net, and it would snap onto it. Now it doesn't, which is really annoying. Yeah, there's heaps more stuff in the DRC and ERC checker now, but that's frustrating for me because I'm getting heaps now of things I need to ignore all the time, new things, so it's just a learning thing. Decent optical instrument for under $400. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. You can draw traces over pictures now if you want to rip off a scanned PCB. Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, there's stacks of things. So some of the UI improvements are really nice. They consolidated some stuff, made things neater. But overall, it's it's the same. For me, I also had to wait till KiKit was ready. Once KiKit was updated, that's when I moved to the RCs, because I need to be able to panelize. Off topic, but can these now be used as a HID device? Now it's supposedly the firmware format. Yeah, the S3, because it's got native USB, so you can do all of the USB-based HID stuff. Original ESP32 could do Bluetooth HID, but you couldn't do USB HID. But yeah, the S2 could do it as well. You can do all the HID things. Wow, they finally included that. Which one? Finally included what? It's really good now, John. Like it's all of them got their quirks, but it's like I can't even use Eagle. When I go into Eagle now, I've lost all muscle memory in Eagle. It's pretty funny, and I tried doing things KiCad way. The reverse engineering overlay. Okay. Well, it is open source. I mean, people could have contributed it early. My sound's stupid and just my guessing. Could you not run a laser line along the inside machine? No, because there are things in the way that block the laser. You need to be able to see the laser, right? So it's got to shine on something. Right, so putting it right through the guts of the whole conveyor to the end doesn't help me because I don't see anything on the machines that show me the line. I tried that. Like I tried all sorts of ways to straighten the line. I even did a laser level from both ends down the middle. But at the end of the day, it's just fiddly and time consuming. Really small tweaks. Really small tweaks. What do you mean? I2S is in MicroPython. There were changes for the S3. Is that not supported? Is that not being done? But MicroPython's got full I2S support. No, it's not. Well, each machine's got their own fixed rail, but they all don't line up perfectly with each other because there's sensors on this one that block the line, or blah blah blah, or this one. Yeah, it's yeah. Smoke machine. Okay, that's cool, Chris. I don't want to read the mailing list to find out. I got too much in my head already. Sorry. Tried Eagle and I recently got back into electronics decades ago. So glad I ended up finding. Yeah, like I used to be really performant in Eagle, just like John is, I assume. But it was a struggle to move fully over to KiCad. But now, yeah, very happy in it. But earlier, like I couldn't use KiCad 4. It was unusable for me. Like the changes they made from 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 was what made it usable for me. I2S is none S3. Only in preview. It's not on Pico D4 and C3 ports. Of course I2S is. Adam? Of course it is. There's full I2S support on the ESP32. The like you're saying the Pico D4. Of course there is. There's full MicroPython I2S support on my tiny Pico. I'd love it if you remap buttons and scroll actions, etc. to something more sane. Zoom and scroll is completely back to front. Sure, but you can change a lot of those things in the interface. So I originally, when I started using KiCad version 5, I changed a lot of the interface stuff. And in 6, I didn't. Like I made myself learn its way of doing it. And it's fine. It just takes time to adapt yourself. Install tiny curved mirrors to make it appear it's inline, pew pew pew, lasers. Yeah, and pew pew pew, nothing in alignment. Yeah, 4 was, I couldn't, it was just, yeah. It was like, you know, Blender. It was like going from other 3D animation software to Blender. You know, back when Blender had, everything was big buttons with, you know, 7 words in the button for a description of what the button is and stuff. It was just, yeah, from an interface point of view, it was really, yeah, couldn't do it. But, yeah, John, at some stage you need to move out of Eagle. The Eagle importer is really good. Really, really good. Still get a few quirks here and there, especially for really complex designs, but takes 5 minutes to fix anything if there is. Right, and I agree. I try to use defaults as well, but the defaults in KiCad 4 were shocking. Just like the defaults in Blender used to be shocking, where you know, in every program ever, left button clicks and selects, right? But in Blender, left button didn't click and select. Right button clicked and selected. Like, stuff like that, that's just stupid. You don't want to teach yourself right button clicks and selects. You change that. Because that's just... Ugh. Hey Aaron, how you doing? So I actually installed the actual release yesterday. I was still working on the nightlies. So yeah, I need to go through the docs and have a look at what all the changes are. I just never seem to find the time. Okay, what else can we talk about? I don't know. I wish I had something that I've progressed this last week. I just haven't. Other than building stuff. Did a lot of pick and placing over the last week. Yeah. Weird. I don't know. I feel completely discombobulated. I'm sure that's a real word. Positive that's a real word. If not, it should be. Discombobulated. Hello, Mike. Good morning. I haven't got around to pulling down my my helium gateway at home because I'm trying to work out where I can mount it. I need to get up on the roof. I need a 9-meter ladder. Anyone have a 9-meter ladder I can borrow? I need to get up on the roof so I can install it here. So there's no point taking it down at home until I've got a place to put it here. 3D printing bamboo versus Prusa update after a little bit more usage. Oh, I love my bamboo. Like, seriously. Got to get the what's it? The PEI sheet though. Forget the smooth sheet. Forget glue and crap like that. Absolute rubbish. But the bamboo is just wicked. Really, really good. Really, really good. I have not, since I got the PEI sheet or whatever it's called, I have not turned either of my Prusas on. And if I've got prints queued up, I won't even turn on the Mark III and print one of them on that. I just keep printing on the bamboo. It is just fast, and the print quality is amazing every time. And I don't have to print with brims at all anymore. I can print to the extremes on my bamboo, as far as it'll let me print, which is still less than what they claim the print area is, by the way. But whatever, I can print all the way maximum without any brim, and it doesn't matter how thick, like how tall or how short the print is. I get perfect adhesion and perfect every single time. It is incredible. Hey, is that Aaron? I hope I got that right. I've got the Bamboo Carbon X, whatever it is, with the AMS. So I did have that problem when I updated the firmware and it killed the back hub, and they replaced the hub for me, and they actually replaced it with one of the new ones that can take 4 AMSs instead of the single AMS. So I could actually buy more AMSs. I could buy 3 more AMSs, and I could have 16 different colors loaded into my bamboo at any one time that I can switch between. How cool is that? Midgel and Thony, your MicroPython Discord I2S missing unless it's been moved to a different module. No, Adam, I'll have to look. Chris Jennings, Atomic 14, he's done MicroPython I2S stuff. Have a look at his videos. I don't know, like I'm pretty sure it's been there since 118. So, okay, thought starter. Is there any piece of gear you'd like to have? X-ray, flying probe tester. No, I don't need X-ray. Like, I'm not doing BGAs and whatever. Flying probe tester. No. Like inline optical inspection, obviously. I've been discussing. My primary thing right now is a new pick and place machine. I need to move away from the Neoden. And that's my primary focus right now. And basically, all spending and everything is stopping, and focus is on being able to afford a real pick and place machine, like something, a real pick and place machine, not a Chinese pick and place machine. So yeah, otherwise I don't know. And that's a necessity for me, really, not a dream. An inline optical inspection would be a nice dream to have, but I have no space for it. Couldn't do it. That's why I'm looking at building Otis, something that can go on a conveyor. X1 carbon, I'm looking at 2. Tired of messing with my ender. I just want to print. Exactly. Like I don't, you know what, you calibrate the filament the first time you print. It does that test pattern thing, which limits your print area. But once it's calibrated, technically you're supposed to recalibrate every new reel of filament, but I don't, and I've never had a print problem. It's just really good, and it's fast. There's a lot of wastage, obviously, when it's doing the multicolor, the switching. They could improve that. There's a lot of, like, they could halve the amount of the poo filament. Oh, my package from JLC is coming today now, not Friday. Oh, I wonder if they'll turn up in time for my stream. I doubt it. So yeah, it just prints. So all I do to start, like, when I take my print out, you just got to take the bit of the print on the edge that they do, take that off, and I can be at home. Like I leave my printer on all the time now, and I can't tell you how many times I've been at home, and I've just logged in from home and started a print. And I never have to worry. You don't have to clean the bed. I've never cleaned the sheet, the PEI sheet, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of prints on it. Never cleaned it, and it's just great. Yeah, I've gone through kilograms and kilograms of filament on this thing, and it's really good. Hey Mitchell. What's up? I'm going to have a hard time convincing your wife that I need a bamboo. Well, the pip is cheaper. You know, I'm not... I don't know if the LiDAR stuff really does anything or not. I don't care. It prints great, and I don't know why it prints great. I don't know what parts of the printer make it print great, but it just prints great, and I'm really happy with it. It was a lot of money though. It was, I didn't get it during the Kickstarter. I regret that now, that I didn't get it earlier. I procrastinated a bit, but I'm glad anyway, I'm really glad I got it. We have to ditch what? Dan's a dirty area if you get a real pick and place machine. No, like a real pick and place machine is going to be about 1/2 meter, maybe 1 meter longer than my current one. I have enough room for that. I just can't fit anything else on. So that was the point, that if I heard LiDAR doesn't work on the textured PE sheet. Hey Illuminator. Thanks mate. I don't know if it does or it doesn't, but my prints are absolutely fantastic, and yeah, quite shocked how good it is. What's you guys done with the old garage? It's a kid's playroom. The old garage or the old office, because there's 2 sections. The garage is just now storage. Finally, we have a place to store stuff, not in the house, right? And the office area is a kid's play area, which is full of Lego. So we've got three out of 4 walls have got, like the IKEA cubey things covered, and it's all full of built Lego kits. My kids, and Yaz a little bit, but my kids are just addicted to Lego. Nothing wrong with that. Hello, Hansi. Any 2023 dream project ideas? Well, I've already got, I really want to get my bling board going and see how that works. I think that's going to be a really fun thing to get out to people's hands, if it works as well as I hope it will. I don't know, there's opportunities for 2023 to get some new boards out, new espressive chips. I'd like to start looking at things that aren't espressive chips, but things aren't available yet still. Still silicon constrained, or prices is just too high. So yeah, I don't know. And yeah. I can't think that far ahead. I really can't think that far ahead. Like, I've already got so many different projects that I'm juggling and things that I haven't got finished. I really have to redo my test jigs this year and get them off the Raspberry Pi, get them onto either a CM4 or or move to something completely different, like an Onion or something. So I'm still getting those USB issues on my test jigs, and just using a Pi makes the test jigs quite big. So I need to solve that. I say solve that. I need to do a new revision of that. But I don't know. Like I'd like to do more mechanical stuff now that I've been playing with that. I still want to do my my powered pick and place line extenders. I've got all the parts here now that I need for that, but I still don't have a CNC, so I want to get a CNC. I think I've worked out what I'm going to get. I just haven't bought one yet because I've got no place to put it. And yeah, USB issues. Do you have Pi sub crashing, USB crashing randomly? Yes, yeah. They're just the USB ports. No, I need something better than the Carvera. I've been looking at that a few times, a bit loony. I need to be able to cut metal faster and thicker. Like it's not, yeah. And I need a much bigger cutting area than the Carvera. It looks really cool, but it's I don't need to. Yeah, or just bigger than the Carvera. I need like a 500 by 300 cutting area. Yeah, no, nothing like that. I can't afford those, Chris, and I don't have space for them. No, a desktop CNC, but something that's more rich, something that's designed to be able to cut metal. Metal meaning aluminium, right? But I need to be able to cut, 15, 20 millimeter thick aluminium, not just thin sheets of aluminium. Well, ideally, that's what I'd want to be able to cut. Well, but it needs a bigger spindle, and then it needs different bits, and therefore the tool changer won't work, and it still doesn't have a big enough cutting area. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go and mod the Carvera because everything about the machine, including their software and everything else, it's fixed to their machine. So, what, Chris? Yeah, there are stacks, mate. I've already found. Like it's yeah, it's not a good luck thing. They absolutely exist. And I've been chatting with people that own this particular ones and cut stacks of metal with it and love it. Yeah, there are desktop ones that are suitable for aluminium. It doesn't charm why I have one. Remember, I was thinking of converting the 540 to a CNC. There are proper machines that do this, Chris. They exist in the marketplace. Anyway, I'm not going to debate the topic. I've done my research. Anyway, yeah. Well, there are things that exist that aren't Haas or Tormac. So, I want to, well, firstly, I want to be able to cut parts for Otis. So Otis are smaller parts, potentially, but I want to be able to I still want to make conveyors. I'm not going to go through it now. I don't want to be focused on the CNC stuff right now, Chris, but they're machines. that have been recommended to me by people that own them and use them. No, nothing like a Shape Bioko. No. No. Much better than a Shape Bioko. Like these things are, yeah. I don't know, Peter, I wasn't looking. Peter, you've seen the machine I was looking at. Remember I showed you when you were here? It's going to cut metal. Budget is the limit. No, this thing's actually quite reasonable. It'll cost me just... Here's the thing. It'll cost me just under 10 fully with everything. Right? That includes all the extra bits that I need. But right now, I don't have $10,000 to put towards that. As I said, buying is halted. Not buying anything until I can solve my pick and place. Yeah, I've been looking at the Olmos, the Omios. The Omios can, whatever, however they pronounce it, can definitely cut metal. Yeah, they are 100% solid enough to do that. Well, aluminium, anyway. So yeah. So I've nailed down my pick and place options to either a Hanwha or a Juki. So now I just have to work out how I'm going to justify the purchase, which is, yeah, I can't I can't work that out. The risk taker and the insanity supervisor in my head are fighting. I didn't say a mill. I said a CNC. A router. I never said a milling machine. I'm not satisfied with anything about the Neoden, to be honest with you. It's a perfectly fine machine, not for the type of volume I'm doing. It's just not reliable and repeatable for the volume and for the range of stuff that I'm doing. It's got just too many quirks, and it's not fast enough. And I just, every day I use it, I just don't know what I'm going to get. So it's just, I've spent, as I said to my patrons, I've spent the last 18 months justifying to myself that the mental and the stress and the mental fatigue that this machine was giving me every day fighting it was worth it because of the cost of the machine versus going to the next stage of pick and place machines. Adafruit have got the Hanwhas. They've got 2 of them in line. And I've now come to the realization that the toll it's taken on my mental state and health has absolutely not been worth what I've saved by not getting a decent pick and place machine. Yeah, it's the problem is the next step up from this machine to the next, like to a machine that is the entry of, when I say proper pick and place, I'm talking about non-Chinese. I'm talking about a proper branded pick and place machine. The difference in price is insane. The gap is insane. Like a new pick and place machine is going to cost me double what I've spent on my entire line already, which is just really hard to justify. Like, but I can't keep fighting every day. Every day I use this machine, it kills a bit of me inside. So I gotta stop doing that to myself. Bootstrap fab, yeah. So either the Hanwha, the SM482 Plus, or preferably the Juki RS1R. And we're talking about, I mean, the Juki is a level or two above the Hanwha, and the Hanwha is like 10 levels above the Neoden. Insanity Supervisor. It's always a situation of, do you need it or do you want it? No, it's not even about need it and want it. It's about, sure, I want it. Like, who doesn't want a fancy pick and place machine? Well, if you're interested in pick and place machine. Do I need it? I need it. It's just the decision to do it. Gis? What? Can't Google the name by ear. Anyone know? Hanwha SM482 Plus. That. Or the Juki RS1R. Which is an insane machine. Like, insane. No problem. Chris, the thing is, I'm not looking at a production CNC that I'm going to start manufacturing parts to sell. I'm looking at something that, like, you know, I don't need something that cuts extremely fast or whatever. I just need something that can cut. I don't need insane finishes on the cut because I'm selling them to aerospace companies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to be able to take 3D printed parts or parts that I can't 3D print that I need either bigger or something with structural integrity, and I need to be able to machine them. Like, that's it. It's as simple as that. And it won't always be metal. Sometimes it could be other things like Duralite or Beryllium or whatever else. But the point is, no, not. I don't know where you got 60, 80K from. No, no. Well, okay, maybe 80K for a machine without feeders, and then another 100K for feeders. Feeders are the killer. Yeah, no. It's higher, like double it. Yeah. Very. The gap is hugely expensive. Anyway. But I've been offered a really unbelievably good deal on a Juki. Like, a really unbelievable deal on a Juki. But it's still more expensive than the Hanwha. So, yeah. About Juki sewing machines, it's just click the same company. Yeah. It's funny, if you go look for, even if you type in Juki pick and place machine, like 90% of the hits in Google will be sewing machines. It's really bizarre. But Juki makes some of the best pick and place and manufacturing machines out there. Like, yeah. And their distributor here in Australia are just up the road from me. Well, their head office is in Sydney, but their showroom and warehouse is literally 10 minutes away from me. They came down last week. I met them. They are also the GKG distributor, my stencil printer. So, which is really good. So, do they do so? I don't know if the company does sewing machines, but or you spend money on CNC, post some drawings of what you want to make on the Discord. I'm not going to be spending money on a CNC right now, Chris. As I said, my focus right now. Yeah. So the issue. Firstly, leasing. I don't like owing money. This is not about whether I can afford a new pick and place machine. It's not about how am I going to pay for it. The issue is it's about whether my business can sustain it, right? And leasing just means that the pick and place is going to cost me more over time, right? And sure, it might help with cash flow during that process, but it's also going to cost me more, and I'd rather it doesn't cost me more. Yeah, the RS1R is... So, here's the thing. So, I didn't even know that the 1R could do this. I didn't even know that this was a thing. Well, obviously, it would be a thing, you know, on the insane machines, you know, like $1.5 million machines, $2 million machines, whatever. So, there's a... hang on. Let me see if I can find a video. Okay. Just might make it easier to explain it. Oh, I'll give you the near end. Sure, I can give you the near end for some money. Hey, Alan. Right, so this is the Juki. Right, where's it gone again? There it is. Right, here's the Juki. That's what it looks like. 112 feeder positions. 47,000 components per hour, but that's not what it can do. It does 30,000 IPC spec. So it can do 30,000 components per hour. Like the 47 is in a very isolated test case. I want to see. There's no videos on there. Great. Now let me just go. Just 1 second. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, I just want to get. Okay, so you can see how it's going, and it's going to the feeders, and it's grabbing all the parts at the same time, right? So it's dropping 8 heads down and grabbing 8 parts at the same time, not bang, 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 one at a time on the 8. You haven't seen Mako again for a while. He was back here for a little while. Okay, so you can see what it's doing. It's moves over, it grabs 8 at a time, and it moves back. Now, my machine can do that. A lot of pick and place machines can do that, except I can't do it on my machine, and can't do it on most machines because it means that all the parts on the feeders have to be perfectly aligned, right? And because when it goes down and picks all the parts at the same time, they can't adjust where the individual heads are, right? They all have to be. How much faster would I be with that? Like I would be almost 10 times faster. I could manufacture. Right now, my pick and place machine is the bottleneck on my line by a factor of 5. Oh no, that's a shame. Well, getting one would make sense, Bitlooney. I still don't like the idea of leasing. I would rather find money another way that isn't going to cost me. That I'm not throwing away extra money because of the lease. But anyway, so let me get back to this. So the problem is robbing a bank. No, I'm going to get you to rob the bank for me, mate. So the problem is, like on my machine, is the feeders parts don't line up, and you can tweak them and make them kind of line up, but they drift. So half the issue with my machine, and with any Chinese machine, and not just the Chinese machines, but any machines that are using older style feeders, right? Is that there's drift on the feeders as they're presenting parts. So when I'm pick and placing, after about 4 panels or 5 panels, I have to go, stop the run, go back into my feeder and reset all the pick positions, because the feeders have moved. Like, things are out of alignment again, and it's picking things from the wrong spot, right? So I could never do bang and pick up 8 parts at a time on mine, because the parts won't be in the right spot. It would mispick, right? Hey, Marius. And so what the 1R can do is, so it does laser alignment on the head on the fly. So when it picks up parts, it does orientation and stuff and fixes things on the fly. And when it fixes things, it says to the feeders, hey, feeder number 17, you need to move back 0.01 millimeters. Like, you need to do whatever. The pick and place head, as it's picking, tells the feeders to refix themselves to get perfect alignment every single time. Like, like, I didn't even know that was a thing, right? So that's just crazy. There's a bounce back from her business trip. You seem to get a bit vicious when she's not around. No, Lenny's not vicious. Robbing a bank's a great idea, as long as someone else can do it for me. That's really stuttering video. Why is that stuttering so much? Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, this is a different realm of machine. Auto real-time calibration of the feeders. Which is just, yeah. Anyway. Like, the list of issues of my machine, not because it's just my machine, but just these machines in general and what they're capable of, you know, especially ones that use the Yamaha style feeders and everything else, right? I see you informing us in 2 weeks that you bought it. If I can find a way it makes sense, the machine, there's a machine I can get from here. I could have it here in a week, or maybe 10 days. But the list of things that plague me with my machine every day, I pick and place, are just, they're slowly killing me. They really are. But I still can't ratify in my head the cost. There's no we. Which one are you hitting, Michael? You, not we. It's just the issues with my machine are ongoing, and I'm just like, have a look at this. This is what happened yesterday.
And this just happened.
Can I rotate this view? Make bigger, make smaller. Really? Can I not rotate it? No. So have a look at these 2 boards at the back. So this one here on the very right hand side, the top, is deliberately not being placed because there was damage on the panel from JLC PCB. But look at these last 2, or the 3 of them. Look at the boards, look at the parts. I can't remember if I get closer.
Parts.
Can you see the parts? I'll get this bigger. So this is out of WeChat because maybe I can save it. Let me see if I can save it from WeChat. Oh, show in Finder. Hang on, here we go. Maybe I can load it in preview and rotate it. Open with. Preview. Why is it not letting me open with preview? Okay. To open with QuickTime. No, not that one. Right. And can I rotate it? View. What? Oh, rotate to the right. Okay, look at that. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? That was my 7th panel. Look at the other parts on the boards. Then all of a sudden, look what it did. Like, I can't, like, this just, you know. So I got to take that off. I got to see it first, right? Now, check this out. This is not a once off. This happens. Hang on, let me just go back to here for a second. Look at that top Pico D4. This happens all the time. And now that I've automated my line, so I used to inspect every panel before it went in the oven. And if that's the case, then I've got no automation. And to automate my line, I have to let stuff like this go through, and then I have to fix it. And then I spend hours and hours fixing shit like this. And it's not just like I've got, see this? So Monday, I pick and placed hundreds of boards, no problem. Tuesday, I pick and placed hundreds of boards, exactly the same boards, same file, same everything, and I already fixed 15 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 20, 19 and 15, 20, 34 boards out of like 220 did shit like that. And they were all reflowed already. So that's like half a day's worth of work to fix these. I gotta fix them, I gotta replace parts on them, I gotta pull parts off that might be okay, but I can't guarantee they're okay because I can't see markings on them, right? I don't know if it's put the right parts in the right place. And then rebuild them all on the hot plate, and then test them, and then clean them, and then test them. Like, it's, yeah. Could it be the mercury, which, what? Okay, yeah, I don't know what that is. You bought the 90% version of the Neodyne, yeah. So that's the thing, I can't, this is what kills, like, is what's killing me slowly, not slowly, in terms of my mental and physical health, is the whole, I don't know what day I'm gonna get. So yeah, that was Monday. Then Tuesday, it all stuffed up. On Wednesday, I had to run 80 boards, and I had about 2 bad boards. So this was, no, the first day was Sunday. It was fine. Monday, it stuffed up. Then yesterday, I ran 80 boards, and there was only like 1 board that was a problem. And then I started running these nanos, and then I got, so all up, I've apart from, I fixed them all now, about, so I did 20, 40, 80, 120 nanos, and I had to hand fix 30 of them, or 32 of them. No, I can't factor in the cost and trash them, because they're really expensive. They're expensive panels, they're expensive parts. That's $500 US worth of, if I trashed all the boards like that, I just threw out $500 US of potential income. No, I can't. I'm not going to do that. No. And the fact is, owning a machine that forces me to throw away money like that, yeah, I can't do that. And some days pick and place is fine, and some days it'll destroy everything it touches for no reason. Nothing that I can determine, nothing that Neodyne can determine. Yeah, it's just I can't keep going this way. I've done it for 18 months. The machine has paid for itself. It's time to go. Would an optical scanner pay for itself? What do you mean an optical scanner? You mean an optical inline optical? I don't have room for a take a day off on these days. But it could happen any day. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. There's nothing about the machine when I boot it that says, oh, it didn't initialize properly, or your parts are going to be stuffed, right? There's nothing that you can determine if it's going to be a good, bad day until you run it, until you do production. And again, this was the 7th panel. No, 6th panel. Like, the panels before it were fine. And then the 6th panel, it did this. And the 7th panel, it chewed through, like, it wrecked way more of them. So, like, while I was using the machine, something happened internally, a setting or a who knows what. It got out of alignment, out of whack. And everything from then on was just being randomly good or bad. Like, you know, there's some good boards on there, there's some bad boards on there. You can see that this D4 chip just down below is off the pads, right? Like, the other parts kind of look okay, it's a bit blurry, but the chip is off the pads for some reason. So you're running a business that works, you know that you need it, right? But now here's the flip side of, and this is, I'm not saying, please, no one go to my store. You hear me? No one. Oh, I should turn my store off. I'm currently going through the worst 4 months I've ever had in business since I started doing all this stuff, where this month being the worst month I've ever had since before I started selling my Neo 7 segments. My very first thing that I started making. I've gone over here. Oh, by the way, I've got more boards and LEDs coming to make. So this is the very first thing I started making and selling. And since the day I started doing that, this month is by far the worst month I've ever had. So right now, the whole thought, I mean, it's been great. I've had a lot more downtime than usual. So it's given me time to tweak my line, right? To fiddle. Like, it took me almost 3 days to get my line realigned, to get the oven in and tune the oven and whatever. Like, it's given me that time, which is great. But by the same token, you know, it's like doubling down and spending this type of money at a period of time where it's like so much uncertainty is just, that's the concern. Like, what's going to happen next month? What's going to happen the month after? Like, you know, after boot, is it ever the first few boards? It's totally random, AJ. It can happen straight away. It can happen after a bunch of boards. It can happen on the Monday where it was stuffing up my tiny Pico boards, nozzle 5 was dropping parts everywhere for unknown reason. It couldn't hold on to any part. It was just dropping them. And so I ended up disabling nozzle 5 and running it without it, which obviously slowed my production down. So, you know, I went from 15 minutes a panel to 18 minutes a panel. And then all of a sudden, nozzle 3 started dropping parts halfway through the run. Okay. The next day, nozzle 3 and 5 were fine. They weren't dropping parts. It's totally random what's happening. Yeah, there's definitely there's a financial recession crisis globally right now. Lots of people have been losing their jobs, especially in the tech industry. Like, so yeah, it's just. But when do I pull the trigger? Like, do I do it? Like, right now, as I said, I've been offered a really good deal on a Juki. It's a once in a lifetime thing. And I don't know if that'll be available in a month. How long do I wait? Like, you know, like, now would be the perfect time to get a new machine, get it on the line, learn how to use it. There's going to be a lot of downtime while that happens, right? Learn how to use it, blah, 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 integrate it. You know, they come out, they set it up, they train me on it. Like, we're talking about a very different class of thing. You know, when I'm not busy is the perfect time. as long as I'm going to get busy again next month. But if I don't, a little bit of, oops, time is being spent, especially since you have the downtime. Yep. No, I cannot find any correlation. It's not when it's too hot in here, it's not when it's too cold, it's not when the compressor's kicking in or not kicking in. It's not specific to any nozzle, it's not specific to any particular board or any particular project file. It's not specific to any particular feeder. It's like the machine's getting confused. It's most likely software related, a bug of some description, or it could be just some failed hardware. I do know that the back controller board on the pick and place head on the machine where the Ethernet connects to control it, the LEDs don't work on the back, and Neoden seem to think it's just the LEDs that are faulty. What, all of a sudden the LEDs don't work anymore? Anyway, yeah, I'd be able to resell the machine down the line if I need to. Okay, but yeah, it's easy to say take the deal. It's a significant amount of money. Yeah, I don't think it's power issues. I had the same problem when I was at home on the machine, and I've tried plugging into completely unique different circuits here because they're all isolated circuits. Maybe it's a power thing. I've been looking at power filters. Someone in my supporters channel on Discord pointed out some potential power filters I could use, but I'm not convinced that it's power specifically, because I could go a day without a problem, and I can go to a day where it's a disaster. Possibly, but it's all proprietary inside. And it's all, I don't have any documentation for it. I'd have to pull the machine apart to get into the guts of where all the power is. I'd have to take the machine off my line to do it. There's no documentation for anything, and I can't get spare parts unless I try to source the parts myself and buy them myself. So yeah, I don't have it. No, I don't. No, I don't think it's external power. And if it is, it's not going to be. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. No, it's not external power anyway. Did you work out? No. Hey, Mike. I can't get that. I actually said yes. I'm going to grab it, and I got invoiced for it, and then I didn't take it because Neoden changed. The whole point was to have the two machines next to each other that were identical, and I could use them both with the same files, or I could use either one of them at any time, and they'd be 100% compatible with each other. And then I found out that Neoden changed everything about the way the PCB comes in and stops, the whole mechanical, both mechanical and software, about where the PCB sits and stops, and it would have made the machines completely incompatible. They would need a different version of software to run on them. PCBs would sit in a completely different place, which means their project files had to be completely different and incompatible. And there was no way. It's like having just two different brand machines on the line. There was just no point doing it. And the truth is, it would have been cheaper for me to do, but doubling down on a on a mess, I would have had twice the mess. So 24712V. 24. No, it's all 48 volt. It's all 24 and 48 volt inside. They're using Ethernet for power distribution everywhere, and some boards obviously have their own buck converters and stuff that drop down from 48 or 24 down to 5 or 3.3 or whatever, but there's about 15 PCBs in there that are all connected via this insane wiring harness Ethernet. I'd have to pull the machine apart to be able to get inside to even go through the wiring and stuff. So But it was happening at home. It's been happening since the day I got the machine. So, yeah. I missed some stuff. Well, anytime it happens is inconvenient. Anytime that it happens that I have to go and fix stuff is inconvenient. Well, I think that there's something wrong with that board because the LEDs on the board aren't working anymore. Like the fact that just LEDs will stop working, but everything else on the board is fine, unlikely. But I can't get a replacement board. It's all proprietary. And I have to pull the whole pick and place head apart to get the board out. So, hey Reed. Hard decision, but let's look at it this way. How much time, money currently being wasted? How much money would you save now versus later by buying the machine? It would take me 5+ years to pay the machine off. We're talking about a significant purchase. Significant purchase. Unfortunately, there's nothing in between. No, they're not just rotated. They're in the wrong spots. They're offset. They've been dropped. It's not that they're rotated. They're rotated... Sorry, let's go back to it. They're rotated because they were placed in the wrong positions and they smacked into other parts. Right? Which not only put pressure on the PCB, I'm surprised that it didn't snap the PCB, but it's the rotate. So that D4 that's rotated here, that's because there are two capacitors underneath it, stuck underneath. That's why it's rotated, because it's not sitting on there. That there's, look, you can see here. See that? There's a capacitor sitting on here. Look at that capacitor there. It's supposed to be over there. Right? That's down. But this capacitor here, look at it. It's supposed to be on the left. Look at left. It's like all of us. See, that one's in almost in the right spot, and that one's moved all the way to the left. Like it's like it just forgot where its x-axis is. Oh, absolutely, Mitchell. Like I know it will. It's just getting over the hurdle of spending the money, committing to spend the money. That's it. That's what it is, and doing it at a point in time where I'm just not busy enough to justify it. So, I already call it dumbass. So yeah. Yeah, it's just the... Now, 4 months ago, like, had I have not known that business was going to, like, slow down, then I would have just jumped at it. I would have done it because I was right in the thick of it. But not, like, right now, yeah. Well, it's normal Ethernet. You've got power and you've got data. Like it's an Ethernet jack, right? And you got lights on the Ethernet jack. Well, they don't work. So it could be that the jack is died, but why have those LEDs died? Like something must have had that happen. Like, has anyone ever had a router or a switch or whatever else where the LEDs stop working on them? I've never seen that. Like in my whole time I've been working with tech and IT and stuff, I've never seen the LEDs die. Well, they're dead on this. And they've been dead for a very long time, and which clearly indicates that there's something went wrong, or there is something wrong, and it's not going to get fixed. And that's the other problem. So let's say I get this new machine. What do I do with the neodymium? Like I couldn't, in any good conscience, sell it. So. Sure. But even still, like, if something happened with the power that made the LEDs die, then the chances are it could have damaged something else on the board. Very unlikely that all it did was kill the LEDs on the connector, if it was a power problem, right? No, they did work. They used to light up. They definitely used to light up. And I've confirmed that they should light up. So, So the only thing like getting a new machine is that if whatever happens down the road, and I just business goes south, whatever, then I can always sell it. Like we're not, like we're talking about a Juki or a Hanwha. Like there'll be a resale value. I'm going to lose money on it, but I could always sell it. They won't send parts. That was the whole fight up until, like, it took them 12 months to send me replacement LED lights for the cameras that were faulty. They won't send parts. It could be a side project to convert N8 to OpenP. No. Side project for who? Not for me. I'm not interested in doing that, and it's completely proprietary inside. So, and unlike other pick and place machines that might do a conversion where it's kind of, just a glorified, multi-axis controller board like in a printer or whatever else, this is completely custom. I don't even know if, like, the whole communication between all the parts of the machine works under UDP. It's like, I don't even know if you could do something like that with OpenPNP to support that type of stuff. It's completely different. Hey Dodgy. So hey Embedded Hobbyist. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm over trying to fix this, and I need to move on. I need to get myself out of, like, it's one thing to buy, like, I bought another neodymium oven. It was really my only choice. Like, I was the only other ovens I could buy that were short enough were like $90,000, which crazy. This oven was $15,000. It cost me. So I didn't really have a choice to go for the IN12. I couldn't fit. Like, to get a cheaper oven, it would have been 3.5 meters. I would have lost another meter. I don't have another meter spare. So yeah, I'm not even remotely interested in doing any type of OpenPNP conversion. I don't want a project. Yeah, but it's just not, it's not normal communication via UDP. But anyway, there's someone on, there's like a GitHub repo somewhere where someone started kind of reverse engineering the communication, but a lot of the stuff's missing from there. And I tried working some stuff out because, like, I wanted to read what the conveyor width was, and it just, yeah. It just depends on what you're building. That's the thing. It depends what. Like, I've built a lot of boards with this machine. Like, they're just, no one tests these machines at this type of level. The people that buy these, majority of the people that they sell these machines to, honestly, are overseas, like India, Asian regions and stuff, where people are, no joke, building LED panels. Like, it's their main selling point on their website for a lot of these things. They call them like LED mounters, right? People building LED panels, right? That's what majority of the people do with these things. They don't use them to build stuff like I do, and not the number of boards. I'm not saying that I build, I'm not building millions of boards, but it just, the machines just aren't precise enough and repeatable enough to constantly be doing this size packages. The feeders aren't good enough to deliver these size packages, you know what I mean, reliably and stuff. The machines aren't heavy enough. Like this machine is like 480 kilograms, right? The Hanwha is like 1.3 tons, and the Juki, I think, is 1.8 tons. Like, there's a reason why those machines are that heavy. It's not because they're filled with so much electronics. It's because to keep them steady and stable. Like, my machine vibrates like crazy, right? And not just the machine vibrates, but the construction of the metal, the casing, and the way it's just screwed together. Like, it just, like, there are large sheets of metal with no support except for the corners, right, or around the edges, and they, you know, they go like this. They vibrate as the machine's going. They're not built to run at full speed with reliability for long periods of time, right? Like I'm constantly moving from one side of the feeder to the other side of the feeders, front and back, like amount of travel time and stuff. Like it's just, yeah. They're not durable. They're not built to be, yeah. So, but depending on what people are making, like, you know, if you've only got 30 unique parts and you could kind of isolate all your parts to, you know, the center-ish of the feeders or to one side, so you're not doing all that travel. You know, like some of my boards I'm placing like 1,200 parts, 12 or 1,300 parts per panel. You know, and that's a lot of parts on a panel. Like I know there are boards out there that, you know, they've got 400, 500 parts just on a board, but generally you're not banging them up 15 or 20 boards on a panel, right? These machines, they're just not built to be able to do stuff like that. Yeah, no, John's not going to volunteer. Could it be dropping data? I would expect the same chip too. No, you're way undersimplifying. There are, like, as I said, 12 massive controller boards inside the machine for subsystems and stuff. There's like 20 microcontrollers. There's like 15 or 16 power circuits there. This thing is just Ethernet connected to Ethernet connected to Ethernet connected. Like it's just, it's not, there's not one board in there. Like it's this massive, complex, fully proprietary bit of electronics in there. No, their main controller board is doing all, hang on. That's the, no, that wasn't DHL. No, that won't come till later in the day, unfortunately. That's their main data communications board. It's their own. Everything in the machine is fully proprietary. Using their own firmware, their own protocols, their own everything. Like, it might be sending UDP packets, but it's completely proprietary communication that it's doing, right? Like, everything is completely custom. Everything is conformally coded, right? The repairability level of these things is non-existent. And there's no documentation, not for the wiring, not for the boards. Yeah, like sure, I mean, that's a custom switch that they've made, right? But it would be more than just a switch. So, yeah, this is not something that can just be easily reverse engineered or fixed. Is it insured just in case it accidentally catches on fire? Sure, but yeah, honestly, the value is in the feeders. I've spent almost double the cost of the pick and place machine just on feeders. And it's the same with all pick and place machines. You pick up a pick and place machine for $100,000, you're going to spend $200,000 on feeders. You could get another switch in and Wireshark it, but it would be just a, yeah, for what purpose? Nothing I'm interested in doing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to reverse engineer it. I'm not looking at trying to. I put enough time and effort into it already. As I said, I need to move out of the neoden ecosystem. Well, I need to move out of the Chinese pick and place ecosystem and eventually out of the Chinese equipment ecosystem. The oven, for now, the Neoden 12 is fine. That should last me hopefully a good 5 years. Fingers crossed. The machine caught on fire, but I managed to get all the feeders and parts off just in time. Yeah. Thought about getting a new Neoden. You can reuse all the... No, because then the other thing is that it's not fast enough. And the new Neoden is not reliable. Like, the issue is not specifically my machine. There might be some issues with my machine, but in general, just the construction of it and the software of it and everything about it, no. I'd just be doubling down on the same grief and still have no support and still have, no. As I said, I need to move out of this. I'm not saying my business is ready to move to the next step, because the next step is like this. But I have to get away from this. I've got to get away from this ecosystem, this type of machine. And unfortunately, the next step is a massive jump, right? If there was something in between, I'd absolutely be going there, right? If there was something that wasn't a Chinese budget machine, and I'm calling that a budget machine because compared to a Hanwha, a Juki, a Samsung, a Yamaha, a Panasonic, I'm not talking about 20-year-old second-hand equipment. By the way, I'm looking at buying new. I'm not buying second-hand equipment. I'm not buying, right? To be clear, my next pick and place machine is going to be a new pick and place machine with full warranty and full everything, right? If there was something in between, like if Juki made a whatever, I mean, you can get smaller Juki machines, right? But if I'm going to spend money on something, it needs to not only give me the reliability, but I also want to get a performance increase, and I want it to last me. Like an RS1, I should never need, you should never say never, but I should never need another pick and place machine, right? I mean, it holds twice as many feeders. The feeders are insanely capable compared to this stuff. And the machine is, as I said, 10 times faster with 100% more reliability at that speed. Like, this should be my final purchase. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, they come and it gets delivered. They come, they help set it up on the line, and then they commission it, they get everything working properly, make sure, you know what I mean, set up whatever, and then they do training, X many days training on it, whatever, and then they're available for support whenever I need. Got a question, how do I do this, how do I do that? Some of the guys work from Sydney. This is for the Jukis. Well, actually, so the Hanwha would also be, the Hanwha has to come in from Korea. It's a Korean machine, not a Chinese machine. But the company that I would get it from are local. They're in Melbourne, right? If I have a problem, like the Hanwha guys are like 30 minutes away, and the Juki guys are, no joke, not even 10 minutes or 8 minutes away, right? Assuming they're in Melbourne at the time. If they're in Sydney, whatever, or right, they're phone call and spare parts. All the machines are spare parts. Spare parts are available, warranty. Full warranty on them, like, you know what I mean? But that's what you pay for. And both of them would require me doing a service, like, you know, an expensive service every year to maintain and upkeep the machine. But part of that is also they update, like if there's software updates, if there's whatever updates, right? There's an update path with it. Anyway. Yeah. I said to myself this morning, don't talk pick and place today. But I did. First week of my semi-retirement. Not complaining. What? What happened? When did that happen? What does semi-retirement mean? Johnny? Yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to be retiring. I'm not even sure I ever want to, but I think I'd go out of my mind. So I'm just reading back in case I missed anything. Oh, interesting. Okay, Johnny, cool. Hi, Yaz. Good morning. You missed the conversation. We were just talking pick and place machines. I was showing everyone the fun that my machine did yesterday. And, yeah. I hope your morning is going well. Oh, 9:06. Hide and seek. What? What? Oh, that way, yeah, I showed them that as well. In the oven, yeah. I showed them the video. Whoa, why is it? My camera is going all... not capturing properly. What is going on? Okay, it's gone back normal now. OBS just had a conniption. Yeah, I showed them the video of the board in the oven on the bottom. And the video of the... yeah, I didn't show you yesterday of all the parts in the wrong spot. Potato. OBS did a potato... anyway. 2 hours I've been going for. Probably just a Chinese... How many things have they shot down? Is it 5 now or 7? They can't all be Chinese weather balloons. What is going on? Anyway. I got to decide what I'm going to do today. While I wait for these boards to come from DHL. Which... so frustrating. Better Hobbyist is fully retired. What do you do with your time? Being fully retired. I don't know. I couldn't possibly imagine what I would do with my time if I was retired. I'd end up just... Me personally, I'd waste all my time. Because I just would be... I'd be feeling guilty I wasn't doing anything. And so I'd be spinning my wheels doing nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon... Nah. Hey, Emery. I could become a full-time parent. Do you know some kids that need a full-time parent? Other than our own? I'm up for that. Okay. And you've been doing that for 3.5 years? I don't know, I just... Yeah, but I can't do that. Like, I can't. But this is the ADHD. I can't do it. I got to be... The guilt level in me sitting there doing nothing is just... No, can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. Could take over your business and make more... Really? Could you, Yuz? Would you? I don't think so. Stopped working 30 years ago and retired 10 years ago. That's very funny, Graham. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't perceive what I'd do with my time. Like, I can't even go play golf anymore because of my shoulders. So I can't do golf, can't do the gym. I don't know. I can find your schematic error. Have you actually not found the error? Is that what you're saying? Are you wanting help finding the error? I thought you found the error. And you were just showing... I could help you spell. No, I'm the last person. I'm terrible at spelling. You know that. But I'm okay with that. I'd rather put forward a incorrectly spelt word than sit there trying to work out how to spell it. So I got to look at either retiring some of my products or redesigning them to make them manufacturable again. And plus E for Yuz. Plus E? Oh, for the somewhere. God, where are my bling boards? Okay, I gotta stop. Folks, I think I've run out of things to complain about. So, I could volunteer somewhere. Sure, doing what though? I don't know if I could. I thought about teaching, not teaching as in high school teaching, whatever. But maybe, I don't know if I'd find that fulfilling. I'd find that more frustrating than anything else. Less years of stress while working and trying to meet deadlines means that I could just do what I like now. Happy days. Helping old people with their computers. No, not a chance. No way. Not helping old people with computers, not helping young people with computers or technology. No. Hey, Wayne. No, you didn't miss anything. Nope. No, you did actually. You missed a lot. Yeah. I need to fix these boards. Get them in the cleaner. I need to print some more of these. Wow. I need to clean up. I got my bin out last night. I remembered to do that. Yay. Because to watch over the neighbourhood seems like a way too common a part. Yeah, no, I'm not. I like people watching, but I'm not going to be that guy that sits there with my binoculars spying on everyone. Besides, you get a drone. Do it with a drone instead, as long as you don't get caught. No. So hopefully next stream. Now the problem's going to be, I get my boards today. How am I going to not build stuff till next week? It's not going to happen. I'm definitely going to build a bling, and I'm definitely going to build a LoRa board, and I'm definitely going to build my controller. So I'm still going to have nothing to do next week because I'm going to have built them all already. Anyway, I'll work it out. Okay, folks, I'm going. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it was a nothing stream this week. As I said, all my plans went out the window or got stuck in the shipping center. Yeah. I can pretty much guarantee I won't have a new pack in place next week. But you never know. You never know. Crazier things have happened. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. Just don't you find them turning the bedroom lights out just as you get naughty. Okay, folks. Catch you later. Yeah, have a great week. Sorry. I'm thinking binoculars. What would I stare at? Okay. Bye, everyone.